Hello everyone, good morning, here's Evita. Finally stopped raining. It was raining for several days after the snow we had, and right now it's overcast and there are some rain clouds up there. But I'd really like to tackle my hydrangeas over here because it's getting really late, I think. There are new growth all over already. But just like I said, since we had springtime already and then winter came and I wasn't able to take care of them. This is my oldest Macrophylla here. And as you can see, there are a lot of new foliage already, and I just want to prune it now as fast as I can before it starts raining. I would like to start with this hydrangea Macrophylla here. It's my oldest hydrangea in the garden, and what I'd like to do here is just cut off the dried flowers and dried branches. This is a variety that bloom from the old wood, so you cannot cut it down, because if you do, then you will not have blooms, or maybe just a very few blooms. And I would also usually take out the very thin branches, because this will only give small size flowers. But I like to have a mixture of larger and smaller size flowers, so I'll leave some. And yeah, and then I'll fertilize with a special fertilizer for hydrangeas. I bought some organic fertilizer for hydrangeas, and so I hope I can get finished with some of them at least before it starts raining. Okay guys, I have to start now. So guys, it started hailing here. I don't know if you can see it. It's not a lot, but it is hailing. So I guess that's it for the plants today, cutting the hydrangeas, unless the weather stabilizes. This one is another hydrangea Macrophylla. It's a lace cap, and it's one of the first hydrangeas that I planted here. Can't even remember when. So I will be pruning it just like the mop head, just taking off the spent flowers, the dried stems and branches, the very thin stems, and that's about it. So I'm done pruning the Hydrangea Macrophylla Marixi. It's a lace cap. These are my Hydrangea climber. It's the Hydrangea subspecies Anomala petularis. And this variety bloom from the old wood. So I will just be pruning off the spent flowers and some dried branches, and that's about it. I should have pruned this in fall, but I didn't get to it. And I noticed they already have flowering buds, so I have to be very careful. I already pruned the lower part. Now I have to go on the ladder to prune some more of the spent blooms up there. But the rest, I'll just leave. The ones that I can't reach. So I'm done pruning the Hydrangea climber here, and I'm really so excited because it has buds already, flowering buds, guys. I don't know if you can see it, but it's full of flowering buds already. So this will look spectacular again this year. Of course, I'll still have to put some fertilizer, and then it's ready to amaze me. This is the Hydrangea arborescens, Annabelle, and the blooms come out from the new wood, so I can actually go down all the way to the ground, but I think I'll cut it a little bit higher. Okay, I think I'll leave the Annabelle now the way it is. And I will be pruning this, I think they call it Pink Annabelle or Invincibelle. This is the Pink Annabelle, or I think they call it Invincibelle. And just like the Annabelle, it's also a Hydrangea arborescens, so I can prune it as low as I'd like to prune it. But since it's still very small, I wouldn't like to prune it all the way down. I'll just be cleaning it, cutting off the damaged or dried stems, and hoping that it will grow more stalks this year from the bottom. Yeah, it has new growth from the bottom. So I leave it that way, and maybe in a few years I can start cutting it like the Annabelle there. So this one very close to the trunk here is another limelight. It's a Hydrangea paniculata, and I can prune it as low as I want because the blooms come out from the new wood. So I have two of these paniculators in this bed. This is not that old, I think 3 years old, and I have another one that is probably 8 years old or more. So I'll just be trying to form this. I don't even have to take care. I can just cut it the way I'd like to cut it. Just form it a little. So this is the other paniculator here. And I will also prune it, just form it. Not too low, because I like to see it from the terrace when it blooms. And now it started raining again, guys, so I have to go inside and continue this task when it stops raining. It's April weather. So guys, I'm going in and out. It stopped raining again. It was hailing and raining. Okay, I just want to get finished with my hydrangeas. Otherwise, I would stay inside. Now it's all blue skies, sunshine, so I'll continue. So I will be just pruning the paniculator here. I can cut it the way I want to, so I'll just be forming it. I won't be cutting too much because I like this to grow a little bit taller so I can see it from the terrace. So I'll just be cutting some dead branches and spent flowers, branches that I think is not strong enough to carry some blooms, like these tiny branches here. This is not, does it belong there? This is a limelight. It's a hydrangea paniculator limelight. And usually you can prune it drastically, all the way down. But since I'd like to see it from the terrace and I have a hedge, a boxwood hedge in front, I like it to grow higher. So I just prune it a little so I can enjoy the blooms from the terrace. So this is the fifth variety that I have in the garden. It's the Hydrangea quercifolia, or oak leaf hydrangea. And I will not be doing too much with this one too. I will be just taking off the spent blooms, the dried branches, and the deceased branches if I see any. It also bloomed from the old wood. So that's it, guys. And there are also new foliage coming out now. So I'm done pruning 5 different varieties of hydrangeas that I have in the garden. And I still have a few paniculators and Annabelles and 1 quercifolia that I have to prune, the other side of the garden. But I'll be doing that tomorrow. This was fun today. I had hail and rain and a lot of wind, so I had to go back and forth, and I had 3 cups of coffee altogether because I just wanted to finish this video. And I hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again in 2 days. Happy gardening. Bye now.